the WCS group here in the season final. I'm getting a bit of echo right now.
There you go, yeah. Oh, I am too, actually. A lot of echo. I sound like now batting Mike Piazza. Anyway, here's the thing, guys. MVP is about to take on Congo in a final best of 3 to decide who is moving on in Group B. It's going to be crazy. Congo's like wiping his nose in anticipation. Hi, I'm Doa. With me is Monte Cristo, Day 9, and Apollo have moved over to the main stage. So we needed to actually give them a little bit of a break. They've been casting so long. Their groups have been going forever. So we got a little bit of lunch. Now we're here taking over for them on the side stage, and then soon they will be on the main stage with Group C, I believe. So we're going to finish up Group B right now, guys, going into the finals between MVP and Congo. It's going to be best of 3. We're going to start out on Neo Planet S. It's going to be cool, man. I'm actually really excited about this because MVP, obviously, the championship in Europe. Congo coming up here really trying to kind of make a name for himself again now in Heart of the Swarm, and he's doing that in a big way. Like, I mean, he's, despite the results today, Congo is back to like the Congo I remember almost. He's like really good again. He makes a lot of banelings, and he's just fun to watch.
Yeah, an MVP also in this match, surprisingly.
Yeah.
So it's his last hope as the top seed in Europe.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, you know, going back to Congo for just a second, all he needs to do is make like 1 or 2 Nidus worms, and then he'll be back to like exactly where he was, you know, in the olden days. But MVP, man, yeah, I mean, the King of Wings looking so good too in Heart of the Swarm now, and the question is, though, he's on the ropes. Like, if he doesn't make it out of the round of 16, I'm going to be very surprised. Like, Congo, yeah, I like him and everything like that, but MVP, I feel like you really have to expect him to get through here. We'll have to wait and see. Looks like the players are in the lobby, so we should be getting into the game any moment now.
That's right, and we will be seeing Group C cast by Day 9 and Apollo on the main stream if you want to head over there. So
yeah, that's right. Yep, so keep that in mind, but for now, we are going to be moving into the final match, just waiting for the players to give the okay. I'm not sure what exactly the holdup is now, but we need to make sure that the players are all prepared to be able to get back in. I hear a little bit of music. Maybe it's music that will signify the start of the match. There's MVP getting ready in his booth.
That's right.
He's getting psyched. I'm
Playing
getting
in the
psyched.
big booths here.
That's
off
right.
Stage.
They get the big booths with lots of room.
Lots of room to spread out. Take a nap under the desks, and
That's
there
right.
you go. There's Congo.
He's like, oh. Who's that?
And MVP. So it will be a team kill situation here with LGIM.
Yeah, that's something we haven't talked about yet, is that we saw the EG team kill earlier between Alive and Stefano. Now we're going to see the incredible Miracle team kill between MVP and Lacira. Sad that somebody has to go home, but that's just the way it is, and we are in-game, guys. MVP versus Congo. Oh, I love that Terran music. It's when it kicks in, you're like, yeah, it's time to drop some Marines on things.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, did you know, Doa,
What did I
there's
know?
actually a military technology that has been developed that plays people's voices back at them while they talk, and it actually renders the brain unable to speak, which is kind of what we're getting right now, actually, with this echo. It's actually very hard to form a coherent sentence in this game.
Maybe I've got bad hearing. I just feel like I sound more epic than usual in my own ears. But I know, what is the frequency? It's supposed to be like, is it like 2.5 seconds? No, it's not like that. It's like a 2.5 microseconds or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I read about that once, though.
It's pretty interesting stuff, but not as interesting as this game we're about to see between these two LGIM players.
If we can power through this, we will only be stronger. And as long as the people like listening on stream don't hear it, I'm fine with it. So, very early drone scout coming out for Lacira. Wants to know what MVP is up to right away. Can't blame the guy. And if he can kind of delay the command center, delay the barracks, he was hoping that it was going to be, you know, a command center on the low ground, but he's there so early, man. Wow. I mean, if you get there that early, you can be really annoying when they're trying to put up their barracks, but you don't often see drone scouts so early in ZVT. So clearly knowing his teammate and knowing what MVP is capable of on this map.
That's right. Setting the drone for the patrol finally. Putting down that hatchery and running in circles. at LGIM's natural, LGIM MVP that is, and MVP going for that command center first on the high ground.
Yep, just like we thought. Now, MVP, he's played a lot of different styles in Heart of the Swarm right now. I mean, he's really kind of played all the best styles, but lately in the finals, actually, that he played against Stefano, he started to really incorporate a lot of that Hellbat drop play. And, you know, we're kind of just jumping in this. We haven't gotten to see really any of his games yet today, so I'm not sure if he had done that earlier, but would not be surprised to see it again. Otherwise, he has been very good in the Widowmine play as well.
Yeah, in that final against Stefano, he went for the Hellbat drops and then kind of mass Hellbat Marauder. So a bit of a different style than the Biomine, and we've seen the transition from Hellbats into that bio play, and he also mech'd on certain maps as well.
That is why I love him so much. One of the few Terrans brave enough to go mech against Zerg right now, and there's a couple different ways you can do it. I mean, he does it generally through like sheer huge amounts of skill, but a lot of times, you know, we've seen like Maru do it for instance, in the very start of the last season in WCS Korea, and he kind of relied on doing lots of early damage with those Hellbats to set up that later mech push. But generally, a lot of meching Terrans have been saying, you know what, the Viper just makes it too hard to reliably mech in the matchup. So to see him do it and have success with it is very cool, and it gives us hope.
Yeah, especially in a final against a player the caliber of Stefano, too.
Yeah. Well, it really threw Stefano off his game, too, and poor Stefano and TLO having to play against each other in Group A, and then neither one getting through. That was a bit of a heartbreaker for the foreign community, but Group D has Damaga. Damaga starts with D. Group D starts with D, or it ends with a D. Either way, I say Group D is for Damaga. He is going to be our foreigner getting through to the round of 8.
And we'll be moving on to that Group D right after
Mark
this
my
series.
Words. That's right.
So, MVP going for that reactor factory again, no surprise.
Very cool stuff. Just kind of checking. SCV looking around, kind of looking for overlords, and also just making sure there isn't anything like crazy hiding there, like banelings or something, but likelihood of that is pretty much 0 to 0. So, or checking for a quick third, rather. Yeah, derp. Yeah, we just are kind of sitting down with this one. So this echo is making me feel like I should be proclaiming like dire portents or something, like beware the Ides of March.
That's right.
Or trying to do like a Soundwave impression from Transformers or something.
Nostradamus is here with the big echo.
That's right. That's what you need to predict the future, right? Just an echoey voice. Pay no attention to the caster behind the curtain. All right, Congo's starting to spread that creep a little bit, and MVP playing very defensively, actually, and I think this is a good idea. The Overlord's going to go ahead and see the starport. There could be Widowmine drops coming out of this, but for now, those Widowmines keep him slightly safer against some of the early aggression that we do see Congo do a lot of the times.
All right.
So there is definitely kind of a point to this as well. He's not just playing ultra tanky. There's a Widowmine pickup. And with that pre-igniter, he flies rid of the Zergling, but with the pre-igniter, he can drop off Widowmines at both bases very quickly, and that's really where the main damage and the main danger for this comes in.
However, he does have those Spore Crawlers up right now, so it's going to be easy to see, and it would take a lot for this drop to do damage. The 3 Queens intercepting, and they're just going to focus down. Yeah, he's so ready.
It's going to be a little bit annoying. Put those Widowmines in various places, make him move around his Spore Crawlers.
Absorb one with the Queen.
Yep.
But, wow, gets a drone right there, but does manage to separate it in time.
Yep.
And there we go, popping up the Spore Crawlers, moving him around so we can actually see
Welcome to life, drone.
What a way to enter the world.
I'm ready to mine. Oh no, what's that? Oh, that poor drone. That was like the saddest life I've ever seen a drone lead right there. Coming out of the egg and immediately dying to a Widowmine.
And we've seen some horrible drone lives, ending in fire, ending in Hellbats.
He like just sees the sunlight start to peek through the walls of the egg, and he's like, I'm almost there. I wonder what my life will be like.
And then a missile the size of a man just obliterates him.
Is that my new friend? He's coming at me very quickly. Yeah. It's tough. It's very tough.
It is.
We have two Baneling nests. Two Baneling nests, I repeat, going up for Kongo. That's generally not something that you want to do very often as Zerg. But this is what we call autopilot error. Although are those Baneling nests going up at the same time? I'm really curious about this now, guys. So we have two Baneling nests going up at the same time.
Well, double the Baneling nest, double the fun.
Yeah. And that makes no sense. Yeah.
All right. Well, onwards with this game. You can see the interesting pattern of spore crawlers that Kongo's managed to put out here, including some pretty far in the advance of his base.
Well, guys, both Baneling nests, I believe, did just finish. And he made those both at the same time. And he already had Evo chambers. I'm confused. Did he manage to cancel one? He may have, but that's a lot of times that's what you call like an autopilot error when you're busy with other things and you're just kind of doing your build with sort of your subconscious mind is like, now is the time for my Baneling nest, and you put it down even though you may have made the decision to do it at a different timing earlier because of something special in that game. So yeah, he's getting that Baneling speed very quickly. I want to see the main man. I want to see if there are two Baneling nests.
Well, here comes a Zergling run by. He's got to meet some Marines right there, so he's going to take down not even one SCV thanks to the medevac.
That's a lucky SCV, man. All right, Spire on the way now. So this is Kongo, guys. This is basically what he generally does. Ling, Baneling, Muta, and ZVT, very Baneling heavy. That's like his style. That's what Lucira, a.k.a. Kongo, does.
And it always has been, too. So
oh, yes. Oh, yes.
It always has been.
He was one of the best for a long time as well.
Yeah, those two-base Baneling pushes that he used to do, pretty darn impressive.
Yeah.
One of the players that really popularized that style of play.
Yeah. So Heart of the Swarm fitting him very well. Very, very well. With the improvements to Mutas.
And here comes the Queens.
Slow Banelings and not very many Lings, but the Queen's definitely making things a little bit scary. Oh, Lings get all the way into the main of MVP.
Interesting.
Wow.
So must have had one of those depots down.
Yeah.
To allow that to happen. There we go, 4 workers killed, so pretty even so far. Nobody taking serious economic damage in the least.
Not a big deal, except to that one drone that just like immediately died. That's just still sad. That's still just the saddest thing I've ever seen in StarCraft.
Make a very good scene. In the movie about the cruelty of humans.
That's right. Cruelty of widow mines. Drone combat. Actually, drone combat has a whole different meaning in the Zerg thing, does it? It's like, Zerg Queen's like, what are you talking about? That's just not very effective. All right, so Creep's definitely getting across the map here and there. The Muta's coming out now for Kongo. 2-2 nearly done. And he could do a few things with this. He can stay defensive and just harass with Mutas. He can gear up for a big 2-2 attack at possibly the 3rd or something. But it looks like he's going to have to spend some effort defending against a large push coming across the map from MVP. Classic Marine tank, and there are Banelings there.
He's not going to go over them, though. Meanwhile, he's going to attack this 4th base.
Yeah.
Annihilates the Queen up there, and then gets pursued by the Mutas and the Lings. Another Burrow Baneling going down. He's not going to walk over that one either, and now he's knocking on the door of the 4th base.
Yeah, 4th gets canceled. Looks like that medevac will get chased down by those Mutas, so that's something that Lucira won't need to worry about in the future here, but he needs to take down this attack. This is serious, guys. There's a lot of tanks in there, and honestly, MVP knows exactly who he's playing against. The way you always used to beat Lucira was just to get a lot of tanks, because that's how you handle large amounts of Banelings. So, and look at this, Lucira just makes a ton of Banelings.
He also has a lot more Mutas on the way as well, so he's trying to pick off some of these medevacs at the front right now and deal with the tanks in the back lines.
Yeah.
He takes out 1 tank, he's going after 2.
Well, he used those to clear away the Marines to allow his Mutalisks to kill those tanks. Very smart, and here he comes, trying to clean the rest of this up.
And Baneling's rolling in, and the medevac's gonna pick him up, but the tanks are left high and dry.
Yeah,
and now the Mutalisks in pursuit.
Yep. They're going to be saved by these Marines for now, and yeah, Kongo needs to turn around for sure. MVP going and getting the Drill Claws upgrade, just like Wolverine would love it, behind all of this. Drilling Claws, Drill Claws, I don't know, something. Drill Claw.
No. Only fighting game Wolverine would love it.
That's right. Regular Wolverine would maybe not be so impressed. But the real question is, what does Hugh Jackman think about it? Tons of Banelings. being made by Lucira. Like we mentioned, I mean, this is just what Lucira does, guys. He just makes tons and tons and tons of banelings. And while this style wasn't necessarily as strong at the end of Wings of Liberty, it's so good early on now in Heart of the Swarm. But MVP, man, if anybody's going to be practiced against this, it certainly will be him.
And here he comes for some harassment. Kongo takes down a turret, going to look at that reactor as his next target.
Yep.
Pick that up as well.
Oh, what? Oh.
It'll burn down.
Will it? Yes, it will. And the Marines, not splitting quite as well. Not a lot of tanks out right now for MVP. He gave up on it.
Baneling's getting huge hits, and he has to pick him up, but there's a lot of Mutalisks to chase this down. Will these Marines be enough? So many Banelings left over.
I think Kongo's looking pretty good here as he comes into the natural with a ton of Banelings.
And he runs into another group of Marines, but the Banelings keep on rolling through.
Wow. It's just endless. It's endless amounts of Banelings. So many mutants as well. MVP looks like he manages to barely hold it off. I give that SCV a 10 for that flip. It was well executed. He messed up the landing a little bit, though.
You can't say you give him a 10. You have to hold up the 10 sign.
Well, no one can see me do it, so that doesn't work very well right now, does it, Monte Cristo? Come on. Come on, get serious here.
All right.
All right, we've got a big drone transfer going down the force. So Lucira, with all that pushing, did actually give himself a nice little sort of block of time to get that fourth base up. But look at this, MVP taking his own fourth, or will he? Troll Zergling somehow preventing that giant building from landing. But hey, as long as it works, who's going to question it?
And here we go. Layer tech coming into Hive, nearly done.
Why doesn't Manx just put a laser on the bottom of the command center to deal with situations like that? I have no idea.
Uh-oh, but Kongo's completed hatchery up there at 10 o'clock gets found by a drop.
Yeah.
But also gets cleaned up
Should
pretty
be okay.
easily. And Lucira, Kongo has just been endlessly harassing these medevacs. He's really done a good job of keeping the count low.
Yep. And just really good job of preventing the fourth from being taken, not over pursuing. If you're going to